Hey, Dom, how are you?
Hey Mike, what's up? How you doing?
Not too bad. We're doing your pick this week, and it's The Naked Gun.
This is my pick, and this is a very me movie. If you anyone out there wants to know a little bit about my sense of humor, it's this movie.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I actually watched this today.
Huh.
I cut it that close because I realized like, oh no, I still haven't like done my rewatch of this. And so anyway, but I was watching it and laughing like crazy, and I was thinking, wow, like it truly brought back memories of the TV show and also the movies. But you were a huge fan of the TV show,
Yeah,
and you got
I gotta tell you, but before we even start talking about the movie, I
yeah,
have to point out that this is from the files of Police Squad.
yes,
This is a direct descendant of the TV show. And as much as I love this movie, the TV show is even better. Nothing touches that TV show for me, from my
yeah.
point of view.
I think you're right. It was crazy. Even when I was watching the opening, one of the things that I really remembered was how they always changed the intro. You'd see the lights on the police car, but it would always change, and whatever was happening, wherever the car was driving, whatever was crazy stuff was going on, it was always like a different opening. And I thought
Mhm.
that was a really cool thing because not every show can keep that up, and they managed to do it. But yeah, that again, something that brought back memories right there. But yeah, you got me into this. You totally got me into this show because
I love this type of humor. Just love
yeah.
it. The only one that I feel comes close is Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's there's a lot of Three Stooges
There
in
is.
this. This was heavily the humor. It's hysterical because I was watching it, even stuff like they were doing eye pokes and yeah. There's that opening scene, which I was actually surprised at how many of those guys were are dead now. They had Arafat, Yasser Arafat. They had
Idi Amin.
Idi Amin. They had Gaddafi. I mean, all these different guys that are
Oh, they
now
had
dead.
Gorbachev.
Yes, that was hysterical.
And they had some guy that really looked like Putin.
Yeah, there was, and I don't know who that guy was.
I don't know if he was ever named. I don't know if that was some veiled reference to Putin back in the
Yeah, it was
80s.
that actually did make because he did look like Putin. I was like, wow. And at the time, as far as I know, Putin wasn't a name or a thing. I
Right?
mean, there was it wasn't Gorbachev ended up getting because he was the one that kind of became the friendly Russian that
Hmm.
introduced Glasnost and wanting to open up Russia to the West and but he kind of got like shafted and knocked off because
He
because
just wasn't power hungry enough, I think.
no, and the KGB were still very much wanting to control Russia. So I think that was a big part of it right there. But
But let's get away from Russian
yeah, well,
politics.
actually, go ahead and do the intro on this anyway, because this is your movie. This is your
This
pick.
this is my movie. So this week's movie is the 1988 comedy The Naked Gun, starring Leslie Nielsen, the amazing Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, and Ricardo Montalban as always a great villain. Um, I'll tell you the plot, but as is often the case with the movies I choose, the plot is just incidental to the movie itself.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um, Detective Frank Drebin, played by Leslie Nielsen, his partner Nordberg, played by an O.J. Simpson,
yes, yeah,
a not yet disgraced O.J.
yes,
Simpson.
yeah. It was back when
Um,
people really still liked him. Uh,
right?
I mean, I always liked him in the show, and I always thought he was very funny as a comedian. And then I'm glad time has gone by since I've seen this again, because there was a period of time where I was like, that ass, I
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
you just couldn't watch it because he was a murderer.
yeah,
I
but
mean, alleged.
uh, well, I think it's pretty I think
I,
it's pretty
I
true.
mean, I know the evidence, but I don't know officially what the word is. So I don't want to, innocent until proven guilty,
Yeah,
and I don't know
well,
where that is right now. So,
yeah, well, I like I said, I pretty
but
much have my
but but we're sidetracked again.
yeah,
First Russian
yes,
politics, now murders.
yeah,
So anyway, the lead character, Detective Frank Drebin, comes back from his overseas mission to find out that his partner Norberg had been going undercover researching a case, and whatever he found out had gotten him shot and in the hospital.
yeah,
So now Drebin takes on the case, and in the course of his investigation, discovers a plot to kill the Queen of England by using hypnotized sleeper assassins.
yes, yeah, and that turns into a that's where Ricardo Montalban is actually introduced into this, and he is kind of the mastermind of the whole thing, arranging it to happen by sleep hypnosis. Uh, um, it's and so any person that goes under this, it will unknowingly become a murderer at the drop of a hat. So yeah, and then it's almost like crazy to even like pick the go at the plot, because this is all about just anything for a laugh and anything for craziness.
It's
Uh,
just a string of sight gags, slapstick, puns. They just crammed it in here.
yeah. Well, this scene here where OJ's in the hospital and that's his wife, the TV or the movie wife,
Mhm.
beside Leslie Nielsen, and this whole scene is hysterical. Leslie Nielsen goes to sit on the bed to offer him support, and he causes the bed to go like doubled over, and at one point Leslie Nielsen's head is in OJ's lap with the bed folded up, and like he's going down on him or something. It's the craziest. And then of
I,
course
I, I, I should point out that as much as I love this movie, very little of this movie is original.
no,
But
no,
like you've already mentioned the Three Stooges. I could
yeah,
point out skits that were probably taken right from the Marx Brothers. Um, I've heard that some of the jokes were stolen from the TV show Get Smart.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of get smart in there, and hey, the um, that's
Nice
quite a
beaver.
beaver. Yeah, I just had it stuffed. and and then there was the that sure is a big gun joke. I mean, it just goes on and on, but it works, and they managed to. Leslie Nielsen is terrific or he was terrific at delivering comedic lines,
Hmm.
and everybody that's in this movie, George Kennedy with the they're it's a great supporting cast too.
Hmm.
Priscilla Presley is fantastic. There she's cooking him up some meat there.
I
But
boiled some meat.
yeah, I boiled some meat for you. Um, but yeah, and I don't know, like I said, it's so many sight gags and craziness. But they managed to keep that going like, through countless police squad movies over the years.
Oh yeah, there's three Police Squad movies. Plus, that
Yeah.
same creative team put out Hot Shots, Hot Shots
Yes.
Part Two,
Yep.
Top Secret, of course, Airplane.
Yeah. Yep. And the scenes that I've got behind me here are from one of the sequels where he's eating a lobster and he's got Barbara Bush he does a total number on Barbara Bush, and I'm not sure who the lady is sitting beside him here, but he keeps squirting her with lobster juice, and he's everybody around him is suffering because of his ineptness. He's got a lot of and probably they stole a lot from Peter Sellers and the Pink Panther ones, because a lot of
Yep.
a lot of the humor, a lot of the gags are very much like, but they managed to make it their own too. So I mean, I don't like, I don't fault it because of that. I think it's
Oh, right.
terrific.
Well,
It's
I mean, so the creative team behind this is where is it? It's David Zucker, Jim Abrams, and Jerry Zucker. And one of their main comedic rivals, contemporaries, was Mel Brooks.
yeah.
And he actually contributed some ideas to
Oh,
this movie.
I didn't know that. That's a nice piece of trivia there. Yeah, I didn't know that. Um, I just, like I said, I watched this today, laughing my butt off, and I like really appreciating some of the stuff at the ball game. The scene you've got behind you, some of that stuff was really really funny, and the fact
It's
they had
Enrico Palazzo.
yeah, yeah, and that's hysterical. He knocks the guy out, and he's got him bent over a he's got him bent over a table. Or actually, no,
No, that
that
was
was an
Enrico Palazzo
yeah, that was him. That's
because he
right.
was putting on his clothes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, his pants are down around his ankles. Leslie Nielsen drops his just as the guy opens the door, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you too." No, so many just silly gags that really managed to work, and even for somebody that normally, and that behind me is the new the scene of the new
Mhm.
um, police squad one that's being, or Naked Gun, that's being made, and I've heard it's really hilarious.
I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm definitely going to be seeing it soon.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely have to check that out. It's absolutely promising anyway. And
Now, one of the unfortunate things about that movie, because
yeah,
in case you think the timing is coincidental, the reason I chose The Naked Gun as my movie this week
yeah,
is because of the new one coming out. I,
right.
I, I'm just so excited to see that. I'm so excited to see this comedy franchise continue that I thought I need to rewatch the original.
Yeah, 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 because
Unfortunately,
actually,
that
yeah, I mean, I intend to watch the new one. So yeah, be rewatching this. And for anyone out there, any viewers that are listening to us now, um, hey, if you haven't gone to see the new one, check this one out. This is the original, and
Yeah, if you haven't seen any of the original Naked Guns, you really should see at least one of those before seeing the new movie.
yeah, and you won't go wrong by watching this first one, because it's really good. I mean, it's really funny. This is another thing, is they always had that, they do a takeoff of Bond too,
Yep.
because they always have the doctor or the scientist guy that's coming out with all these new little deadly inventions, like like the, and when they use it extensively in this with the, he gives them cufflinks that shoot these darts that to knock somebody out
Well,
with
how
the,
about the experiments on children he's doing? He's got that little girl in an electric chair.
oh my
When I
god,
flip
yeah.
the switch, the current will travel.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely hysterical, and he knocks George Kennedy out, and he goes like, "Why?" and he falls over. But no, the gags in this are just really that, even that simple gag of when he comes racing in to get to the police station, parks his car. I guess he left it in gear, and the car is like driving down the street, and it causes all this mayhem, and he's shooting at the car. There's crazy stuff happening. He's yelling, "Did anybody see the? Did you get a description of the driver? And did you get the license plate?" And it's his car, you know. But yeah, just just really funny skits in this. And that's almost what the movie is. It's a series of ongoing crazy skits, with them just doing gags. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had not seen this in a long time, and man, I was pleasantly surprised that it actually lived up to my memory of it, and
It's
maybe better.
considered one of the best comedies of all time. It's on a number top 100, top 20 lists.
Yeah, well, and rightfully so, I think. I mean, I can't think of anything. That was another gag that was hysterical. There was that real. I don't know what the fish was supposed to be. Some real.
Fighting zebrafish. It was either a zebrafish or a lionfish.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like a $20,000 fish or something, and he ends up he drops the guy's pen into the.
The pen is indestructible except for water.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And he drops it in there and he stabs the fish with the thing. It's absolutely hysterical. Um, but like I said, just a simple little gag like that, he pulls it off. So I don't know. Like I said, I was really surprised at how well this held up. The gags work. In fact, if anything, I think the only thing for some younger viewers, they might not know some of the political stuff with maybe some of those figures like Yasser Arafat. I'm not sure
But
how
yeah,
many.
I mean that you're right. They might not recognize what they're supposed to represent or who they're supposed to represent,
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter that much.
no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. All you know is that there's a lot of crazy mayhem going on, and that fight when he's in there, that's a total Three Stooges fight.
Oh,
He's doing eye pokes, and the whole thing was just crazy. Um,
so
but
the guys behind me, this is the Zucker brothers. That's
yes,
David and Jerry Zucker. The guy in the middle is Robert Weiss.
oh,
He's not Jim Abrams. I couldn't get
okay,
a
yeah, I didn't
picture of
know who
him.
he was. Uh,
But the story behind this whole movie is that, the first movie they put out was the Kentucky Fried Movie.
oh, okay, yep, yep,
And then they
that's right,
followed that up with the famous Airplane.
right, right, an
Yeah, no
airplane.
one no one can forget Airplane. And
No,
so they wanted to
fantastic,
follow that up with another movie. And so they talked to the president, the that time president of Paramount Pictures, I believe. And
right.
they were like, oh, we really want to do this movie. It's going to be a police squad. It's going to be about a detective.
Huh,
And he's talking to them, and they couldn't come up with an actual plot. They just
huh,
had this idea, this
right.
concept. And so the president of Paramount Pictures convinced them to, instead of a movie, do a 6 episode television show.
Okay.
So as much as I love Squad, there are only 6 episodes made.
Are you kidding? I
I'm
thought there
not
were.
kidding. There's only
Wow, I thought
six
there were
episodes
more.
in. At the time it aired,
Yeah.
I think it was ABC, aired only 4 of those.
Wow. Wow. Didn't it get picked up by a cable company or something though? Like
Not to my knowledge.
like comedy or Comedy Central or something.
I, I would love it, but I haven't heard of it, and I've had a devil of a time finding episodes of
Yeah,
Police
you
Squad.
can see clips of it on YouTube, but it's hard to find. I don't know. Couldn't tell you like where you could stream it right now. But it is absolutely a
Yeah, same here.
funny TV show. Um, but yeah, like I said, there's the fish. There's the dead fish with the pen through it.
Hmm.
But no, like I said, this is absolutely terrific. Even the cheesy like those explosions, they just put him in front of a green screen and shot a film of an existing explosion. So I mean, they did like cheap effects that work. The Queen thing is so funny. The They
I don't know where that came from. I don't know. Like they must have been in the room together, going, "You know, it'd be really funny having the Queen of England."
well, and the crazy way that they it wasn't exactly dignified. That's for sure.
Oh no,
Um,
I'm very curious about how the British royalty felt about this movie at
oh
the
yeah.
time.
Well, even his speech when he gets up there and he's going, of course, we don't see like a real reason for anyone to be having a queen in this
We
day.
see
And
that as being kind of silly.
yeah, and the mayor standing there like, oh, geez. But yeah, like I said, the gags they all worked and they worked really well. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't know. Like I said, um, I wasn't sure when you suggested this. I wasn't sure. I thought it's been long time since I've seen this, and maybe maybe it's not going to look as funny. And like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. This is hilarious. And if you've never, if you're watching right now, anyone that any of our viewers that are watching, if you've never seen the original ones with Leslie Nielsen, you must see them. I mean,
And
they are.
actually, I would also go even further in saying if you can track down Police Squad,
Oh my God, yeah,
do it. It's worth
yeah,
the effort.
yeah, for sure. That's something I'm gonna have to make an effort to actually see whether I can find that streaming anywhere because I kind of like didn't realize it was that hard to view. I mean, I
The,
knew there
the
were.
the TV show was way ahead of its time, and in fact, one of the reasons it didn't get the ratings it should have is because people that were familiar with the show said that for comedies at the time, Police Squad was too rapid fire for most people. The jokes
Yeah,
came just too quick.
yeah, probably it was. It was. I think because if you've ever watched movies like Airplane and things like that with by the same people, they do kind of fire jokes at you, and some of them you might not get immediately, and like subsequent viewings, you start to realize like, oh man, I didn't even realize that joke was in there. But yeah, they do throw things at you real fast.
It's a little like the psych experiment where they talk about you'll watch this video and there's so much going on in the video you miss the guy in the gorilla suit,
Yeah, yeah.
dribbling a basketball. There's that much going on the screen.
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. And sometimes there would be something going on in the background, and you're maybe watching what's happening right there, and you don't. It needs a second, third viewing just to see some little thing and that's happening behind the scenes there. So they did a lot of that where you know you it takes concentration. So which is great because that makes a TV show that you want to keep going back to, and the movies too. Oh, that was hysterical. The
Everything reminds me of her.
yeah, yeah. And then they show this nuclear power plant with with two peculiar protrusions at the top. Um, no, like I said, it just it played so well for me watching it today, and it's the whole thing's fresh in my mind. I walked away from it thinking, wow, now I want to watch the other two sequels and see the new one. So
Yeah,
that's
I can't wait for the new one. Um, I've heard great things about it. The original creative team is not involved. So the Zuckers and
yeah,
Abrams, they didn't work on the new one, but one of the writers for the new one is Akiva Schaffer.
okay. Don't offhand,
Yep,
I don't.
yep. You probably don't recognize the name. Do you know the band Lonely Island?
Okay, I've heard of it.
They're the joke musical group that Andy Sandberg is pretty much the
Uh,
most recognizable frontman. They did
okay,
Dick in a Box,
yeah, okay,
Lazy Sunday.
right. Right.
He is one of the band members, is one of the writers on the new
Ah,
Naked Gun, and he's a
okay.
long-term Saturday Night Live writer.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So, it's got a good lineage.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because I mean, they have a lot to live up to. There definitely is a certain style of comedy with this that I hope that they can pull it off because I mean, it would be cool to actually see a sequel to the new one too. If they're actually able to make it work and do justice to Leslie Nielsen's. He left a legacy with this show and with this with the movies, and so it's going to be hard. But who knows? Maybe they can pull it off. I have definitely heard. Oh, that was hysterical. The Weird Al thing.
There are
He gets
so many cameos.
Yeah, yes. And but when Drebin goes up to the microphone and he's giving this whole speech and he's like, Frank, it's not this
Yeah,
isn't
I
for
know you're
you.
expecting me to talk. You're saying I'm a big man.
And they're here for Weird Al and which the fact that it was Weird Al Yankovic too, that was is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to ask people to do cameos in your movie, I can't think of someone much more willing to go with it than Weird Al.
Oh yeah, yeah, and actually have the real sense of humor to do it and pull it off. But no, again, like I said, these now I want to watch them all. I mean, and I'm kind of blocking her, but um, there's the Queen of England in a in kind of a compromising situation because he propels her across in an attempt to save her life. to
Well, she's not dead.
no, he saved her life, I guess. So we can all thank Frank Drebin for saving the Queen, and he saved her at the ball game too. But
It's
yeah,
funny. So with the ball game, um, obviously they needed a stadium. So there was a bit of wrangling, because whose stadium is it going to be? Is it going to be Dodger Stadium? Is it going to be the Oakland A's? Um, there's a little turf war. I believe they eventually got Dodger Stadium, um, but a number of baseball teams didn't want to be associated with this movie,
wow.
mainly because of the scene where the bench is empty and there's that big brawl.
Right, which hey, believe me, the fans love to see those those bench clearing brawls. They like nothing more. And
Yeah,
it's
but a number of teams didn't want to be associated with that.
yeah, but man, that's kind of being a little bit tight ass.
Well,
Or oh, that
also
was a
I find it funny that the teams balked about this bench clearing brawl, and Reggie Jackson had no problem shooting the Queen.
yeah, yeah. And that was hysterical that it was Reggie Jackson. He
I
was
know
so
again so many cameos. This is
well, such an
John
iconic
Houseman.
player too. I mean, Reggie Jackson, he was, the great Reggie Jackson. And yeah, and he did he did a good job playing a zombified killer in this too. But and there's a talking about cameos, um, right there, the paper chase, the as the what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now.
John Houseman.
Yes, John Houseman. Um,
This is his last role before he died.
Oh, really? Well, he doesn't look good in this, and he didn't look healthy at all. But it was a good role for him because all he had to do was sit there and deliver his very, very dignified, eloquent, you know, lines and delivery. And while they got this crazy chase scene going on.
Normally, we would not be going the wrong way down this path.
At this excessive speed. But and then I loved it when the truck driver is yelling at her, and he goes, "Extend your hand out of the window. Now extend your middle finger." and she flips him off, and the truck driver's like,
This is another example of a scene. This scene has been done like almost
"Oh yeah,
exactly
yeah,
so many times, and these guys just nailed it. Everyone
yes."
was on point.
Oh, it's really funny, and even just the way, because the driver, the teen driver, she starts out like real timid, and then she starts getting into it. She's flooring the car and doing these crazy turns, and I mean, like I said, this film worked for me. That this is the scene where he's shooting in his own car because he thinks it's a runaway, it's a runaway terrorist or something. But yeah, the movie just works. It works on so many levels. Very, very funny. Uh, it's classic.
I'm normally not into slapstick. I'm not normally into, dumb humor,
Yeah,
but for some reason, this
this
got me.
works. Yeah, it's funny because um, a lot of people that I think would not actually like a movie like this movie pulls off pulls off comedy enough that I think it deserves a that was the secretary, Ricardo Montalban's secretary, and he hypnotizes her to pick up a gun and just start shooting at the guy that's hiring him to actually kill the queen.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That is Charlotte Zucker.
Oh,
She's the
really?
mom.
Oh, wow, really? Wow, they got their,
Yes.
yeah, that's cool. They got their
They
mom.
used to give her little cameos in the TV show Police Squad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, she's her face is familiar, but I had no idea that's who it was. A little bit reminiscent of what Scorsese would do. He put his mom in more than one, like Goodfellas. She's in Goodfellas, which is a
Mhm.
great scene when they actually are trying to get rid of the body, and they show up at her house to. I think they're just trying to borrow some tools, a shovel and whatever. And she wakes up, and they're like, he's Joe Pesci's like, "Mom, I go back to bed," and it's actually again Scorsese's mom, and she ends up telling this funny story, and you can tell the story is like a real story that she just knows from her your youth, and that's why it works so well. And probably the same thing with with their mom here in this in Police Squad.
Mhm.
She just kind of was natural, not a trained actress, and it just kind of pulls it off. And by the way, I am showing scenes from that. This is from that movie, but like you know, different scenes that I put like this scene in particular. That's from a different Police Squad
I know
movie.
you're confusing me because they're showing these scenes, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, they were from other ones, but I'm just we're doing the Naked Gun, and whether or not we do one of the other ones later, it kind of this is what like this scene here. It's again that didn't happen in the Naked Gun. the This one obviously with George Bush didn't happen in this one, but this is the crazy humor that goes on in these movies, and it's
Exactly.
just
You could have shown clips from again from Hot Shots or Top Secret just as easily.
yeah,
It's all the same type of humor.
yeah, and it works. The humor definitely. I mean, Airplane is a well beloved movie, and
Mm.
it works. That I mean, everybody knows. People repeat lines all the time, like you know, do you like gladiator movies? Yeah,
Surely
there's
you
all
can't be serious.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, surely you can't be. Don't call me Shirley. And but no, those lines they live on. They're memorable lines. All these ones, all the Naked Gun ones, they all have hysterical humor. This is this is one of the later ones when he ends up in prison, and that's an hysterical movie too. The humor just works So anybody that has not seen these, um, unless you're like really, really down on this type of humor,
And
then
not everything is for everyone, so
yeah,
there are probably people that don't like it.
yeah. But I mean, I think for the most part, if you don't have, I'll go so far as to say, if you don't have a stick up your butt, then you'll probably enjoy this on different levels because it is very funny. It's silly humor, yes, but it's silly humor that's just fun. And
I love how so many of the actors play against their usual type. For instance, George C. Kennedy is
yeah,
not known for a lot of comedy.
yeah, yeah. George Kennedy. Think of like some of the roles he was in. Cool Hand Luke. He was in tons, and it's not that he never did comedy, but he a lot of times he played a heavy or he played somebody that was just a tough guy. And in this one here, he managed to pull off comedy really well, and he's a great sidekick for Leslie Nielsen.
The
It just
reason
works.
he is in this movie is because the studio demanded an Academy Award winner,
Wow, really? Yeah.
and he was bummed that he never got to be in Airplane.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Because he was in the airplane movies that were being spoofed. He was in the actual disaster movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he was bummed that he wasn't in the spoof of that movie.
Wow. No, I didn't know that, but I'll tell you what, I would not have thought I would not have thought OJ could pull off humor, and he
No,
did. And as much as I'm not a huge fan of OJ anymore, at the same time, I got to give him credit for the comedy that's in this because he really did make a lot of scenes. He was every one of the Naked Gun movies have him like have he's the pratfall for Leslie Nielsen accidentally hurting him somehow. and
I wonder if there's a name for that type of character. Like there's a straight man. I know what a straight man does.
yeah, yeah.
But
There probably
what
is if
about
you
the guy that is always being hurt by
yeah.
everyone?
Well, this scene here is near the end of the movie, and they're all saying, "Oh, congratulations, you're on the mend." He's saying, "Yeah, I'll be back, on the job next week or whatever it was," and and Leslie Nielsen gives him a pat on the back, which ends up sending him down down a flight of stairs in the wheelchair, and nobody's even noticing. That's what's really funny is he does this wild like flip through the air, and everyone else is just talking, and no one even pays any attention to it. So yeah, like I said, I think this works on tons of different levels, but just so funny. This is the opening
Well,
that that's in the movie, and they did this in the TV show. That same headlight would just
mhm.
it was the car driving through scenes, and the fact that they did that different every week, which again, now that you tell me it was only had to be done 6 times, I think that makes it a little easier.
Makes it a little easier, less impressive now.
Yeah.
I'm bummed they didn't have this guy. Now, do you remember this guy from the
Oh
TV show,
yes.
the shoe shine
That
guy?
yeah, he was the informant guy. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
so for those of you who haven't seen it, like if Detective Frank Drebin needed a tip on what was going on, he would come down to this guy and he'd pretend to get his shoes shine
yeah,
and the guy would go like, what you need? And Drebin would slip him some money and say, I hear there's a new mob boss trying to, shoulder in to the west side. And
oh yeah,
the guy would say, yeah, he's called so and so. He'd give him all the information, and that wouldn't be so funny. But what was
yeah,
funny is the minute Frank Drebin left, some other guy would come in. Like one of them was a doctor,
yeah,
and he's like, look, there's this guy with a brain tumor in the left temporal lobe, and I don't know how. And this guy, the Shishon guy, would be like, well, have you tried the McAdams approach?
oh yeah. Well, I remember there was one where and I don't even remember who the athlete was, but it was I'm pretty sure it was a baseball pitcher or something. And he goes, I'm so stressed. I got to pitch to, whatever tomorrow. And he goes, listen, try a fastball and a inside fastball. You'll get the guy every time. And he
This guy was one of the best
yeah,
parts of
yeah.
Police Squad.
Well, they did have a scene, and I don't remember what the guy actually really looked like, but they did have a guy that where he goes up and he's doing he gives them the guy goes, my memory isn't so great. And
Oh, that was hilarious.
yeah, it really, yeah, because the guy he ends up saying he's asking Frank Drebin questions, and he goes, well, I don't know, he's getting
You're passing 20s back and forth for
yeah, and
information.
he's like, can you loan me a 20? He goes, yeah, sure, and he gives it right back to him again. So that was a really funny scene, but there's so many like little skits in this movie, and that's what makes it work. They're just really funny skits, much like Airplane, that
It's
had tons
nonstop.
of tons of great bits. Just a terrific movie. If you're looking for a light comedy that's just designed to make you laugh, I mean, it's a great weekend one when
Yeah,
if you
you want to
just
turn your brain off.
yeah, yeah, it's perfect one. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised how well this held up over the years. And it really did. And it makes me want to see this new one now too.
Oh,
It's
there's no doubt in my mind I'm seeing that new one.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, he's got his version of Priscilla Presley because Frank always had Priscilla Presley for
Mhm. And
which
this is another thing. Like, one of the reasons Leslie Nielsen was so effective as comedy because he didn't start out that way. He was sort of a heavy
no
when he
he
started his acting career.
if you look at his early roles, they were all straight roles. There was no
And the straight tough guy roles.
yeah, yeah. A lot of times he was a cop or somebody that was, just yeah,
Or a
you're
thief.
right. Yeah, it was, and so when you saw him doing stuff like this, it was shocking and surprising, and really fun. It made it funnier. It's
It,
when you see a guy. Well, De Niro. He's been in a number. Not all his comedies work, but some some of the comedies that he's in, um, it's funny because you don't expect to see De Niro uttering funny lines, and it's like different times where he's played this, and the guy he's still playing sort of a heavy, but it's a comedic heavy, and with Nielsen, he's kind of playing he doesn't like the guy doesn't think he's funny. He's not trying to be funny at all, but yet he's a complete screw up. He's like Clouseau. He's like Inspector Clouseau.
well, this is what gives me hope for Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson
Yeah, yeah,
taking over the role.
yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that he's able to pull it off the same way. And I did see a couple of scenes in that trailer that really made me laugh. Like there's that scene. There's a scene in the trailer where it comes in like a little tiny, looks like a little girl, like a little schoolgirl. He's in a plaid skirt, and he
Hmm.
stands up, and it's him, and like full size, and like that cracked me right up. So I thought, well, if there's enough scenes like that, then maybe it's gonna work.
And
So
the few comedic things I've seen Neeson do, he's
yeah,
been really good at.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's terrific. He's a good actor. He's good at playing. Again, he's good at playing heavies. So we'll see. I definitely intend to check it out. I think people ought to really take a look at this one. If you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a while, check it out because it's definitely worth a rewatch if you've, if you haven't seen it in a long time, like myself. And if you've never seen it, maybe before you go to see, or if you've already seen the new one,
I,
check this out. Give it,
I have a feeling that there are going to be jokes in the new one you're going to miss
yeah,
if you haven't seen the original.
yeah, I agree. I think you're probably very right. It's it's going to be a movie it's definitely paying homage to what this, because obviously some of the jokes that I saw in the trailer, you could tell they're just trying to do what Leslie Nielsen did so well.
I'm
So
very confident they're going to try and do this franchise justice, but I do wonder, is this going to be a one-off or are we seeing a rebirth?
it would be cool. It would actually be really cool if it would get revived and would see two or three of these. I mean, I'm not like, sometimes you look at you see a remake being made and you think, oh no, why are they doing this? But this is something, if they can pull it off, they can pull off the comedy. I'm rooting for it. It's there's the there's a scene where he's in that outfit and he's actually throwing a lollipop. But but yeah, like I said,
Yeah, so I don't have, a ton more to say about the movie.
right.
It's just funny. And again, this is my pick. Two thumbs up,
Yeah,
unequivocal.
Dom, I fully agree. This isn't something I even hesitate to give two thumbs up. And again, I will say, if you haven't seen these movies, do yourself a favor, check them out, especially if you plan on seeing the new one. Check it out. And
And
yeah,
particularly if cannabis is legal in your state,
yeah, that's
even more
actually,
reason to see this.
yeah, that's actually probably very true. And it wouldn't be a it wouldn't be a bad thing. This is like if you watch a Cheech and Chong movie, or if you watch a movie like this, it wouldn't hurt if if you actually indulged in a little, if you were partying on, as Wayne Garth might say.
That would be my recommendation.
Yeah. So, and speaking of recommendations, um, I think we're kind of coming to a close here.
Yep,
So,
yep.
at this point, I've had a couple of people and one person in the comments, um, threw out a couple of movies that they kind of were recommending, and one of them was a movie called Black Noon, and
I
that's a
don't think I've seen that.
yeah, and I am pretty sure that it's actually available. It's a 1971 movie, but it's called Black Noon, and it's
Black noon, like
Noon.
lunchtime.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And actually, when the viewer was talking about it in the comments, he had actually called it Black Moon, and he kind of realized later, no, it was. I looked it up, and I was there are a couple of movies called Black Moon, but I was realizing from what he was talking about, couldn't be that one, so I kept at it, and I did figure out it was Black Noon, and again, 1971 movie,
Well,
and
what genre?
so, well, check it out. It's gonna
Okay.
be, yeah, it's gonna be kind of a surprise for you.
It'll be a
It is.
mystery.
I'm I'm about dead sure that there is a version of it on YouTube. So that might be the only place that you can see it. Um, I saw this a long time ago. My memory is pretty foggy, so I'm mostly picking this movie because it was a viewer pick, and
Sounds good. We need more viewer
yep,
picks.
absolutely. And there were one or two others that were recently recommended, but I threw this one in first as a viewer pick. So
Just so anyone out there listening, just so they know, when it comes to comments, Mike is the guy. Mike's the guy who's going to respond. I am horrible at that. So my apologies. I'm not the responsive type.
Well, I mean, I try to keep. That's the other thing. I mean, we do love it when people comment,
Oh,
and
definitely.
yeah, I mean, we talk about it. As soon as I see a comment, I'm usually talking to Dom and saying, "Oh, this person said this or that," and we talk about it. So we really appreciate it. And this particular one, it was we kind of had a nice exchange. He threw out a couple of different movies that I thought were ones that we should probably take a look at. And this was the first one that I grabbed for our viewing pleasure. So yeah, but please leave comments if you would. We definitely love to see them, and we will respond if you throw it out, whether it's praise, criticism, recommendations, whatever you want to
Yeah,
throw our
give us your
way.
best knock knock joke.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we like it all. So please comment and Black Noon. That's so. And like I said, I'm
It's a
pretty sure.
surprise movie. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be for me. It's been a long time. So
Oh, so you've already seen it.
a long time ago,
Okay.
and I'm not clear on it at all. That's one of the reasons why I said let it be a surprise on it because it's. I mean, again, it's one that I'm pretty foggy on. So it's been many years, but wasn't even sure that it was available, and I did. I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones that I found on YouTube. So we better check it out sooner rather than later
Yeah,
because you never know.
I'm very fortunate because not only do I live in Portland, but Portland is the location of a video rental place called Movie Madness.
Nice, nice.
And Movie Madness has, I think, over 40,000 titles. And several of those titles, Movie Madness is the only place in the world you'll find them.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
Uh,
specializes in rare and hard to find.
well, and the other thing too is it's crazy. I mean, we were talking about this. Me and you were talking about this, but there are so many movies that I mean, there were movies that made it to VHS in the early days of when movies finally became accessible for people to buy, rent, whatever. And there's a ton of those VHS movies that just never made it to either DVD or Blu-ray or Laserdisc or whatever the format, streaming, whatever. So yeah, sometimes your only choice is to try to find it on VHS. And I will sadly admit I don't own a VHS player anymore. But it's again, there are there are definitely movies that if you don't own them on VHS or you can't get a hold of them, you can't see them. So good luck with that.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a wonderful thing when somebody does post an obscure movie up on YouTube, and I always love to see it, and I always dread it in case like somebody ends up getting it canceled or something like that where it ends up going down because it's like this is the only way the public can see it, at least until you have a viable, high def version of it. Sometimes that obscure one is at least people are getting a chance to see it, so
I know I've told you this, but for anyone that's still listening, if there is anyone out there still listening,
yeah, yeah,
a great resource is the website Reddit, and their subreddit, full movies on YouTube.
cool, cool.
And people are listing obscure movies that they're posting to YouTube all the time. And I am watching movies from that list at least once a week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a great source. And like I said, I kind of dread it if I see one up there and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's like, gosh, you know, it's like, you know, an obscure movie, or hard to see movie. You're probably doing the movie more justice by having it up there so people can enjoy it. And then, hey, if you want to have a legitimate release, then fine, take it down then. But at least until that legitimate release comes out, let people see it, you know. But anyway, I think we're probably at the point now, Dom, where um, it's time to
It's time
call
to
it a week.
close the curtains.
Yeah. So I had fun. I hope everyone else did. And Dom, thanks for the pick.
Oh, my
Uh,
pleasure. Love picking movies, and I'm excited for your pick.
yeah, yep. Let's do it again next week.
You know it.
So, all right, bud. Take care. And for all you guys out there, if you haven't seen this, check it out. It's a great comedy. So, and see you guys all next week.